Welcome back to the Thomas Take Podcast. I am your host, Ryan Thomas, and tonight I'm talking Donald Trump's upset victory over Hillary Clinton. I'm going to put upset in quotation marks. I anticipated that it was a possibility, a strong possibility, and I was right. Donald Trump, in case you've been living under a rock in America, Donald Trump is the president-elect of the United States, defeating Hillary Clinton on November 8th on Election Day. And I have a lot of different takes on this topic due to the fact that I did vote for Donald Trump. I did support Donald Trump from day one to the final day of his campaign, which technically ended on November 8th. But the real fun begins when Donald Trump takes the oath of office on January 20th, 2017. And I have a lot of different takes on this topic because there's so many different issues that face America and face Americans every day. And one of the issues obviously now is the fact that Donald Trump did win to the surprise of some, and the fact that Mike Pence, his vice president running mate, and the now vice president-elect of the United States, has been quoted as being a bit of a staunch Christian. A man of faith, a man that believes in the Holy Bible. And the Holy Bible reads that marriage is between a man and a woman, but you can't mix church and state law. That's a no-no in law, supposedly. That's what they say, but politicians try. And I have a different take on this than a lot of people because this is coming straight from the heart. My brother is gay. My brother is getting married in 3 weeks, and I am the best man of my brother's wedding. I'm very proud of him as a man, what he does for other people, and the way he is as a human being, the way he is as a person, the way he carries himself, the way he, just everything about him. You know, he's my brother. He's the only brother I have, my only sibling, the only brother I'll ever have. To my knowledge, at least. And it's gross. But anyway, I care about my brother. I want my brother to be able to be his own person, just like I'm my own person. I want my brother to have the same liberties as everybody else, and I want all of the LGBT community to live as freely as they possibly can, as freely as possible. I want the LGBT community to feel as comfortable as possible being who they are. Because there's nothing worse in life than pretending to be something that you're not. And I have, the utmost respect for anybody that is willing to be who they are, willing to wear their heart on their sleeve and just be themselves. And anybody that has any problem with that at this day and age, at this point in time, really has to take a look into their inner soul and find out if they are a good person. Because good people, good Christian people, you're not a Christian if you don't accept people for who they are. That's part of being a Christian, accepting people for who they are under any circumstances. And there are a lot of people out there that feel that Donald Trump is somebody that does not support the LGBT community. They are wrong. Donald Trump has employed thousands of people within the LGBT community over the last 3-4 decades. While Mike Pence might feel one way due to his faith, Donald Trump does not feel that way. I know that for a fact, due to the fact that I have done my research on this myself in the midst of voting for him, in the midst of trying to vote for him. He did say at one point it was a state-to-state issue. Many politicians have said it's a state-to-state issue. Even Hillary Clinton herself said that it was a state-to-state issue. And I hate to say, Hillary Clinton, because she's now irrelevant now that she lost to Donald Trump. But 8 years ago, Hillary Clinton was campaigning against Barack Obama for the Democratic nomination, and she was not as defensive of gay marriage as she is today. Obama had his stance on it, and it virtually stayed the same, and he was a huge proponent of gay marriage. He wanted gay marriage to be legalized, and he made that happen within certain states, and definitely New York State, on the part of Andrew Cuomo. So, that being said, my brother voted for Donald Trump. My brother is just as much of a Donald Trump supporter as I am. I stood next to my brother and clapped for Donald Trump in Buffalo, New York at the then First Niagara Center, now the Key Bank Center, along with 25,000 other people. So, if my brother, who is a gay man, supports Donald Trump, and there are people out there that have worries that, Donald Trump is not for the LGBT community, my brother's a very, very smart guy. Very smart guy. Much smarter than me. I'd be more than willing to say that. He's probably the smartest person that I know in terms of researching, analyzing, figuring out information, the way he speaks, the way he conducts himself as a person, and as a gay man, someone that is more than willing to show who they are to the whole world with no regret, wearing their heart on their sleeve, being a compassionate human being. Maybe everybody should take a look at themselves, and if they want to believe that Donald Trump does not stand with the LGBT community, maybe they don't stand with the LGBT community. Maybe they are looking to find reason to find a reason for other people, creating a reason for other people to have doubt in the new president-elect. And it is ridiculous. It is a huge, ridiculous strategy. This is how people want to conduct their lives. This is a choice that is not a choice. This is something that you are born this way. You are born this way. This is not a choice. The choice is to pursue marriage, and everyone should have that choice. If you are compassionate about someone, if you love someone, you should be able to carry out the same liberties that everyone else does. If the civil rights movement was for the reasons that it was, so everyone would be equal, then everyone should be equal under every single circumstance. If they want to bring death to this country, if they want to terrorize this country, if they want to hurt people, and they want to do it in an illegal way, that's not okay. And that is the only case, one of the only cases, I should say, one of the only cases. But the people of the LGBT community should be able to live their life just as well as anyone that is straight. People are judged for being transsexual. People are judged for being bisexual. People are judged for being asexual. People are judged for being homosexual. Still to this day. And we, along the way with the civil rights movement, we have come so far in the terms of the LGBT community. We have come so far, and to be quite honest with you, that is what I am most proud of about this country. I couldn't imagine being around in the 1950s, 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, even the 1990s, knowing that my brother is gay and living in fear for him because of the fact. And I don't want to have to live that way now because we have come too far. Donald Trump knows that, and I think the people should realize that as well. There is no problem whatsoever with the fact that people should have, questions about Donald Trump becoming the president. I get that. You don't know much about what he can do in an administration. There's reason to feel a little uneasy about the fact that someone has not spent their entire life around politics or more than a few decades around politics, but he spent more than a few decades around business, and he has dealt with several hundreds of thousands of people in certainly hundreds of thousands of different circumstances. People that are of the LGBT community, people that are Latin American, people that are African American. That is what it takes to be a businessman and know how to deal with multiple groups of people. And I think now more than ever we have a president that would be accepting of that because of the fact that he has dealt with and worked with, hand in hand, with people of all preferences, of all ethnicities, of all race. On my end, there's nothing to worry about. On my brother's end, there's nothing to worry about. For my brother, who is a gay man, again, to feel confident in the fact that Donald Trump is someone that will not harm the fact that he could be married in 3 weeks, where I can give a best man speech, and then Donald Trump can abolish their marriage. If he had any seed of doubt in that, he would not have voted for him. He would not have attended his rally. And the fact is, people do not vote on one issue. If they do, then there is a real problem with that. If a gay man walks into a voting booth and thinks to himself, I don't know if Donald Trump will abolish gay marriage or not, so I'm not going to vote for him, then that is wrong. People should vote on far more than one issue. While that might be very important, that might be the number one, number two option on the list, there should definitely be more than one issue that comes up when someone is voting. They should be voting on the military, they should be voting on health care, they should be voting on global warming, they should be voting on... There's so many problems, so many real issues within this country that should not be their number one concern. And this is real. This is not sports talk. Nothing, there's sports teams and scores, and I go over all of that stuff. But this is important. This is about people. This is about people living their everyday life under everyday circumstances in the fashion that they want. And nobody, not one person, not a president, not a vice president, not one person can dictate the way someone lives their life and their choice of marriage, their choice of whether they want to marry a man or marry a woman, or be a woman or be a man, or prefer both men and women. This is America. This is America. And we have to accept the fact that not everybody is alike. And that's okay. That is more than okay. If everyone was alike, it would be a pretty messed up place. Everybody would be like robots walking around. That would be weird. If everyone was alike, things would not be easy. It would be boring. Where would the challenges be? Where would the lessons be learned if everyone was alike? This is real stuff. And for people to toy around with it and say this guy doesn't support this or this guy doesn't support that, when they have no idea what it is like to carry themselves with the distinction that they are gay or they are bi or they are a transsexual, transgender. It is really ignorant. Another ignorant statement made by multiple people. And it has to stop. And if I have the small platform that I have to say that it has to stop, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to announce that has to stop. And if I face backlash from it, if I face reactions from it, so be it. I am completely accepting of that consequence. If you want to call it a consequence, that's fine. People should be able to live the way they want to live their life, and I do not think Donald Trump will have anything to say about that. Take care, guys.